This is the legendary suspension system worth a fortune. A house isn't just built on words. It's known as the strongest suspension, the magic carpet suspension of the Baja 1000 rally car. When it runs, the suspension is busier than the engine. In front of it, the suspension of a regular car can only be called a spring. Let's look at its working principle. First, there is a difference between the front and rear suspensions. Let's talk about the rear suspension. First, it mainly consists of springs and shock absorbers. The springs are responsible for bearing the load and absorbing impacts, while the shock absorbers suppress the rebound of the springs. This combination can mitigate most of the tire's bumps. The springs are divided into two sections, with a movable clip in the middle. The upper small spring is relatively soft, and is used for shock absorption on regular roads. When compressed to a certain extent, the movable clip is stopped by a limiter. At this point, the upper spring stops working, and the lower, stiffer spring takes over to handle larger bumps. The main feature of this progressive design is its ability to adapt to the shock absorption requirements of different road surfaces. Next to the spring is the shock absorber, which is filled with hydraulic oil, and has a series of holes on the internal piston. At both ends, there is a washer, which functions by opening and closing to adjust the flow speed of the oil. This way, the piston generates damping during compression and rebound. Additionally, there is a nitrogen gas reservoir tank next to it, which ensures the normal oil pressure inside the piston. The shock absorber controls the oil flow rate through multiple bypass tubes with adjustable valves to achieve dynamic damping adjustment. The bypass tube valves are designed to be unidirectional, working only within the range formed by the piston, allowing for the same shock absorption effect on various road surfaces. There is also a cooling reservoir tank installed next to the shock absorber. The oil circulates for heat dissipation. This is the basic structure of the spring and shock absorber. The spring and shock absorber are connected to the top frame and mounted at the bottom on a longitudinal double wishbone. The other end of the longitudinal beam is connected to the rear axle, and above the axle, a hydraulic rod functions to continue providing cushioning for the suspension system when the shock absorber reaches its limit. Finally connecting to the rear axle through a linkage. A set of 4-link suspension system forms the front suspension, with both sides being independent units. Each side having its own set of wishbone systems, and both are equipped with springs and shock absorbers. Similar to the rear suspension, the tires are mounted using springs and a hydraulic system to achieve shock absorption. The wheels are driven by an axle composed of 4 gears, using 2 intermediate gears. This structure allows the vehicle to rely on other tires even if one tire is off the ground and spinning freely. This suspension system is the core of the vehicle's shock absorption. Regardless of the road's ups and downs, or during severe impacts, the entire vehicle body always moves forward as if suspended on a straight line. It is said that this suspension system costs 3 to 4 million yuan, while the car itself is only a little over 100,000. The Baja 1000 rally covers a total distance of 1,600 kilometers, including deserts, Gobi, and mountain roads. You can encounter all kinds of road conditions, and the participants have to finish within 34 hours, so they can only keep the pedal to the metal and leave the rest to the suspension. It looks like each wheel is running its own course, making it thrilling like flying close to the ground.
Futuristic, the phone TV. What's up, fam? This is Kissology, the funnest official in TV. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Y'all stay put for more better content. God bless.